It's day 9 of the hush money trial and the start of the third week. Here's Trump arriving at court.
Thank you very much. So we begin again. This is a case that should never have been brought. Every single major legal scholar, Jonathan Turley, Greg Jarrett, Andy McCarthy, Dershowitz, every single scholar, Mark Levin, the great Mark Levin, had a whole show on it last night, said that this is a disgraceful case. It's a disgrace to the New York state and city court system, and all of the cases are, frankly, all of them are. You probably saw last night that Jack Smith got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. It was released late last night, and it's a big story. The documents case is a hoax created by them for election interference purposes, and so that one looks like it's going asunder. A brilliant judge saw some facts, and I haven't read what was revealed yet, it just came out, but the document hoax is indeed a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. All of them are hoaxes, including the civil cases. They're controlled by the White House, they're controlled by Democrat judges and prosecutors that were put there specifically. They hate Trump, and the people are getting it. That's why we just came out, a new Emerson poll just was released about 2 minutes ago, and I'm leading by a lot in every swing state and leading in the general election. And you saw the CNN poll. I'm sure they aren't too happy with it, but the CNN poll was fantastic. So we're here. This is a hoax. This is a judge who's conflicted, badly conflicted. I've never seen a judge so conflicted, and giving us virtually no rulings. I'm not even allowed to say advice of counsel. This is a new one to me, advice of counsel. When you have a lawyer and the lawyer does something or advises you on something, you say advice of counsel. He said you're not allowed to say that. And so you'll all figure it out, but I think the public has figured it out because the poll numbers are the highest they've ever been. And I appreciate you've treated me, actually, I thought quite fairly, at least the people here, which is a lot of people. And I appreciate that. The Biden protests that are going on are horrible. It's all caused by him because he doesn't know how to speak. He can't put two sentences together. He's got to get out and make a statement because the colleges are being overrun in this country. The anti-Semitism, all of the problems going on, they're being overrun. I've never seen anything like it. He said he ran because of Charlottesville. Well, if the people that know Charlottesville, when you extend the statement, it's a big hoax what they say was said. And they understand that. And Charlottesville is peanuts compared to what you're looking at now. This whole country is up in arms, breaking into colleges, knocking the hell out of Columbia University. I mean, they took over. I know the building very well. They took over a building. That is a big deal. And I wonder if what's going to happen to them will be anything comparable to what happened to J6. Because they're doing a lot of destruction, a lot of damages, a lot of people getting hurt very badly. I wonder if that's going to be the same kind of treatment they gave J6. Let's see how that all works out. I think I can give you the answer right now. And that's why people have lost faith in our court system. So the Biden protests are a disaster, and he hasn't even made a statement because he's not capable of making a statement. I'm still waiting for him to debate. He said on the very lowly rated Howard Stern show, he said very strongly, I want to debate. Well, we haven't seen it. But we would love to debate any time, and I think it's a good time to have a debate, even though it's early. But 6 months is pretty close. November 5th is going to go down as the most important day in the history of our country, because we're going to turn our country around. Our country is going to hell. It's going to hell. It's very sad to see. But November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. So I'm going to go into this trial. I'm going to sit in a freezing cold ice box for 8 hours, 9 hours or so. They took me off the campaign trail. But the good news is my poll numbers are the highest they've ever been, so at least we're getting the word out. And everybody knows this trial is a scam. It's a scam. The judge should be recused, and he should recuse himself today. It's the most recusable judge I've been. It's called recusal abuse, and he should recuse himself today. And maybe he will. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll do the right thing. But really, more importantly than the recusal, he should terminate the case today. The judge should terminate the case because they have no case. As Jonathan Turley said, as all of them said, every single one of them, Dershowitz, McCarthy, everyone, Greg Jarrett, Mark Levin, they all said this case should be ended immediately. This case is over. It should be ended immediately. And many of them are not fans of mine, but they want to do the right thing for the country. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go into the icebox now and sit for about 8 hours or 9 hours. I'd much rather be in Georgia. I'd much rather be in Florida. I'd much rather be in states that are in play, states that, I'd like to be able to campaign. Biden's out campaigning, if you call it campaigning. He can't campaign because every time he opens his mouth, he gets in trouble. But Biden is out campaigning very nicely. I think when I start campaigning, he'll stop. He'll go back into his basement. But I want to thank everybody. You've really been treating me very fair. I want to thank Time Magazine. They did a cover story, which is very nice. And it's actually, there's at least 60%, it's at least 60% correct, which is about all I can ask for. So I want to thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Are you going to part of the crowd noise of vote keepers?
President Trump, can you discuss with Ron DeSantis? Let's make this little bit of speed.
Justice Merchan has found that Trump willfully violated the court's gag order in 9 of the 10 contempt charges leveled against him by prosecutors. He imposed a financial penalty of $1,000 per violation, for a total of $9,000. At the bench, Justice Merchan kept his decision curt and brief, but his actual order contains a serious warning. Defendant is hereby warned that the court will not tolerate continued willful violations of its lawful orders, and that if necessary and appropriate under the circumstances, it will impose an incarceratory punishment. Trump is even ordered to remove 7 of the offending posts from Truth Social and 2 from his campaign website. Trump requested to have a day off from court for his son Barron's high school graduation. The judge asked for those specific dates, which are May 17th and June 3rd. I don't think the May 17th date is a problem, the judge said, which means that Trump can attend his son's graduation despite repeatedly telling the press the opposite over the last 9 court days. After that early excitement, we got back to witness testimony. Banker Gary Farro returned to the stand. Prosecutors say they have gone over the opening of Michael Cohen's account in detail. Probably more details than anybody wanted, the lawyer says. That got a few laughs from the jury, who had been staring at a series of emails and technical data most of the morning. The defense's questioning of Gary Farro gave us 2 things. First, it showed that their key argument remains that Michael Cohen, the star witness for the prosecution, is unreliable and a difficult man to work with. Second, they seemed committed to making it clear that no one found anything amiss with the hush money transactions in 2016. We also heard from a banker, a public television archivist, and a C-SPAN director. Not the most exciting collection of witnesses. But then Keith Davidson was the next witness to take the stand, and is a particularly intriguing figure who has come up in previous testimony. Davidson advised Playboy model Karen McDougal on how to sell her alleged romantic affair with Trump to the National Enquirer. He also made the alleged hush money deal for Stormy Daniels' story about her tryst with Trump. Those negotiations were shown to the court via a series of sordid text messages between Trump's ex-lawyer Michael Cohen and Davidson. The messages also appeared to make clear that Davidson and others knew Daniels' story would hurt Trump's efforts to win the presidential election in 2016. Here's a sketch showing a brief conversation between Donald Trump and his son Eric Trump. This was the first time a member of the Trump family showed up to this trial. Here's Trump leaving court.
Do you support the motion to vacate?
Okay, thank you very much. This gag order is not only unique, it's totally unconstitutional. I'm the Republican candidate for President of the United States. I received this honor in record time. Nobody's ever gone faster. It's never happened. Nobody's ever got the numbers that we got. And I'm sitting in a courthouse all day long listening to this stuff. And everybody knows, as far as everybody is concerned, if you read the great legal scholars and experts, everybody said this is a trial that is nonsense. It should have never been brought. That's showing loud and clear. But you have a judge who's totally conflicted, totally, absolutely conflicted, that he's rushing this case through. I'll tell you what, somebody just told me they'd never sat for such a long period of time in a courthouse before. It's ridiculous. I'm supposed to be in Georgia. I'm supposed to be in New Hampshire. I'm supposed to be in Ohio and lots of other places. And they have me sitting here for a Biden trial. It's a Biden trial. And I never saw so many prosecutors. They're all sitting in the room over nothing, over absolutely nothing. There's no crime. There's no anything here. And that's what these legal scholars say. How can you bring a case like this? Bragg didn't want to bring it. Bragg is the guy bringing it, and he didn't want to bring it. Went to every agency just about in law enforcement. They all turned it down as a joke. And I'm sitting here because that's exactly what they want. They don't want me on the campaign trail. But it's a real disgrace. And the whole world is watching. It's a disgrace to New York. And just like Engoron is a disgrace to New York. We won that case because we won it on statute of limitations. And he turned down the appellate division. That's another case. It's all the same. He turned down the appellate decision, the appellate division's decision. They gave a decision that gave me mostly a win. Just about the whole thing was a win. And he turned it down. He's a corrupt judge. And this judge is terrible. And Kaplan is terrible. Gave a person, I have no idea who she is, $91 million. This is a corrupt system we're in. And I think the people are understanding it. If you look at the polls, the people of our country are understanding it. Thank you very much.
What do you like to do?
You can figure that one out easily.
Are you going to keep posting about Michael Cohen?
That wraps up Day 9. Subscribe for more updates. Until next time.